Welcome to Smash Writing. I'm Paul. This
No.
is... No?
No.
No?
No.
No?
Oh, classic monster time.
Classic Monster Time. Another short movie, so...
It's called I Married a Monster from Outer Space from 1958.
Continuing the alien trend that Justin put us on.
You say that like it's a bad thing. I gave you some good movies this time around.
Go and tell us about this movie without making it longer than the movie.
I'm trying to make it sound... I mean,
This was what? This was,
It's better than You Only Live Twice.
But this one was only, what, like an hour? Hour and 5?
It was an hour and 20. Something like an hour.
Really? It did not seem like... Okay.
The movie starts off with a bachelor party. A groom-to-be drunkenly stumbling out of the bar to go see his fiancée before the wedding. And what would Marcia have done if he'd showed up at her house the night before the wedding? It was an hour and 18.
She probably was okay with it because...
I think she would have beat you.
No, she would not stop texting me. I was
But
perfectly...
there's a difference between talking and seeing.
Yeah.
I think her bridesmaids would have beat you in the yard so you couldn't get near the door.
Don't break tradition. But go on.
And he nearly runs over a body in the road, but when he gets out to check it, the body's gone. And he turns around, there's an alien behind him. He's covered in a plume of smoke. He disappears. We jump to the next day where Bill is late to the wedding. And she's worrying a bit, and then he shows up and just walks into the room. That's where the bridesmaids would have beat you. But, oh yeah, this was a note I wrote for you, actually. The wedding goes on without a hitch. Why couldn't Paulie's wedding have been that? The ceremony and then go home. Nearly gets into a wreck and yells at her for him forgetting to turn the headlights on. Because he's driving in the dark with no headlights.
Yeah.
And you go straight to the honeymoon, and you get a lightning shot, and you see the alien underneath of him. And some time passes, and you see her writing a letter. I had a hard time reading that letter. This movie is not the best condition.
No, it did not age well.
And she's just pretty much saying in this letter that she doesn't know who her husband is anymore. He's not the same guy, and she's embarrassed and humiliated by what's going on. And you find out that it's almost a year has gone by.
Yeah, because they celebrate their 1 year anniversary.
And,
the dog.
His friends haven't seen him, and they think it's the wife. And she brings home a dog, and the dog does not, he can't even get near the dog.
Yeah.
But he finally gets near it in the basement to kill the dog.
Yeah.
We see that another one of Bill's friends is abducted, and then another. And some good time goes on, and Marge follows him to go have this meeting. And she sees him, freeze up and an alien going into a ship. And when she tries to go touch him, he falls over. It's like a husk of a human being. So she runs off trying to tell people, but no one's really listening, even the chief.
Who is her godfather.
Yeah. Goes, it's fine, just go home. And then you see that he too is an alien, and the two cops under him are aliens.
Mm-hmm.
And the one guy who just got abducted, he's getting married to the woman, so she doesn't want to listen to her at all. And she finally comes up with this plan kind of deal where when she tries to call Washington, she can't get any calls out. So she tries to fax a letter through Western Union. And when she's standing outside, she sees the guy in there ripping up her letter.
Yeah, he just balls it and tosses it like it's nothing. He's like, here you go.
She finally confronts Bill, and Bill's like, oh, yeah. What happened was he's from the Andromeda galaxy, and the sun was spiking, and it killed all the women on his planet. So his people are going extinct, and we...
Sounds like this is where James Bond would commit suicide.
Yeah. Bond wouldn't survive that trip.
Too many dudes!
So the aliens come to
He
Earth.
might have solved the mission.
the aliens come to Earth, and what they're doing is they're trying to study the Earth women because they're trying to breed with them so their species can survive.
Right.
She finally finds someone to listen. It's the doctor. And I guess the doctor believes her because she came to him without knowing if he's human or not. So then he realizes that all he has to do is get all of the new fathers in the area together to go fight the aliens because they could breed and the aliens can't. They find the ship, a big fight breaks out, and the humans win. They find the guys who have been abducted inside, and they break the machines and it frees all the guys, and you get the happy moment of Bill being reunited with Marge. And that is I Married a Monster from Outer Space.
So there's a couple of things that did kind of like felt awkward to me. Like, I don't think the aliens in this film was completely bad.
Yeah, there's an ethics issue going on in this movie a little bit.
Yeah.
That they're trying to raise like a possibility of like, you know, these aliens aren't like they do a couple bad things, like they killed the dog. It's just like, depending on who you are, like that is rule broken number one. There's no forgiveness. But they kill the one woman when they get caught.
Yeah.
Which is bad, I guess. But like from Bill's perspective too, because like Bill's further along than them, they never experienced emotions.
Yeah, and
so
he says that like, you know, you start like you see the humanity side of this alien that's with Bill, and he's like telling Marge was like, I'm learning, we are learning. This is something completely new for us.
Even when it's like Bill is the last alien standing, he doesn't get aggressive. He more like cedes defeat.
Yeah, and then like another thing, like you look at the aliens as not completely as bad villains either, is that they didn't like destroy the guys that they took over. They're actually in perfect shape, and you know they're just controlling the brain waves, I guess, to help make the full bodies. But they're okay. That gave me was like, man, they're just lost and they're trying to find, you know, they're trying to save,
because they're going to go extinct.
Yeah, and they don't want that to happen.
But
now, could they have gone a different way? Sure, they didn't have to kidnap people. There was another scene that kind of stood out to me, and that was when Bill's friend came over.
Yeah.
You're telling me these aliens didn't know who was who?
Yeah.
Because Bill was real defensive.
Yeah, he was like, even when he's getting called out by the guy, he's like, come on, I know. And Bill's like, what do you know? You don't know anything.
Yeah, Bill's like, I'll get you the insurance paid. And then even then, till the longest minute, until
the friend actually had to show himself to Bill.
To me, that makes no sense.
Yeah.
Because they all came together. Like, when Bill got summoned to the ship, the night that Marge followed him, like, they didn't have, like, a meeting there.
Yeah.
And, like, nobody was like, hey, I want to take this guy. Or, like, there was no communication on this ship amongst the aliens that, oh, I know who you are. You're my buddy. Yeah.
I looked at the aliens without the weird glowy light that they put over them.
Mm-hmm.
They actually look really cool.
Yeah.
Without that weird glowy light, they didn't need it. But I think that with the black and white, you had to distinguish them somehow.
Now there was one good scene that I did enjoy. Well, I mean, it wasn't a bad film, but when the three of them, Bill and his two friends, who are all full in alien now, they're at the bar.
Yeah.
And they order drinks, but they're not drinking it. And the owner / bartender comes up, and Bill's the line was so good. Like,
no, when he's like, you talk to me like I'm an idiot, and he's like, how should I talk to you then?
Yeah. But then also there's a line where they're like, well, once we buy a drink, we can do whatever with it. But yet the bartender still gets defensive, and it's like, dude, they're right.
Well, that even shows you the ethics point of this too, because the bartender at one point just starts punching Bill in the face.
Yes.
And Bill could body this guy, because you see how strong he is later, and he doesn't do anything. He just lets the bartender punch him in the face a couple times. He's like, all right, I'm leaving.
The bartender took the beating of it because he's like, my hand.
I feel like if they remade this movie, you could probably do something really interesting with that ethics thing.
Yes. Because like he says,
because Bill could have killed those guys at the ship. He had his ray gun and everything,
Yeah.
but he just puts it down.
And that's the thing where, like, I'm watching it and I said, I got my mind going, like, man, the aliens weren't actually bad. Like, they kept the humans
And
alive.
some of them were, but like there was again learning thing, and you're defending yourself kind of deal.
Right, so you can't even say, like, they were 100% bad when they were still in learning. The cops, another good scene was with the two alien cops and the spy.
Yeah.
Like,
Well, he was more like a stalker, even. Like I think he was going to attack that woman, Marge,
yeah,
because he's just stalking outside of her house.
that is true. That is true. But their back and forth was like real good, even for that time
Yeah.
frame. It was like really back and forth. It made me laugh because I'm like, and then like the spot, the guy's acting all hard, then he shoots the alien, and then he gets real cowardly because he's like, oh crap,
Oh, no.
my one bullet didn't work. Let's give it the grade.
What's your grade?
You know what? I'm honestly giving it in this classic era that we're doing. I'm giving it a C, just above truly average, like 72%. The reason why I do it is like I still feel like there were some great movies that was coming out, and this kind of does fall in the shuffle of things.
Well, it's no Gaslight,
Yeah.
but I'm going to give this a B minus.
Okay.
I was entertained. It's an entertaining, old school kind of alien movie.
Yeah.
But I do think they're scratching on the surface of something bigger here.
This like I said, this would be an interesting remake.
Yeah, because like I said, I think if you remade this movie, you can do something real interesting with that ethics thing here.
Right. And the writing was good. Everything was good. Some of the dialogue didn't really seem too out of hand. Like I says, but man, when you're looking at all the movies that we reviewed in the classical, this almost could have like lost in the shuffle if you don't find it. How did you find it?
I looked up aliens on Retro Reels.
Okay, and this just popped up.
Yep, this was the only one that popped up.
Well, that's a no-brainer. There you go.
Though, I would say this is better than some of those classics. I think it's better than Frankenstein. Was it? I think it's better than Phantom of the Opera.
Okay.
It's on par with Dracula.
Okay. I don't know, like something to me
I think
still.
it's not quite on par with Dracula. It's breathing down Dracula's neck.
Something still kind of like is off. For me.
I think the quality wasn't very good.
Yeah.
It is not aged, like the quality of the film wise.
Right.
It hasn't aged too great.
I agree. Like it. I don't know. I mean, like it wasn't a film that would bore me or anything.
Well, like this is like we watched 6 Alien movies, and this is the most passive an Alien has been.
Yeah. This was. It definitely got you thinking.
Yeah.
Even with this basic story, like it wasn't like a hidden thing that Bill was still Bill. It didn't give you like that type of story, but you start to learn like they're just learning, and then when Bill reveals himself and is talking about they're not doing anything wrong, they're trying to save themselves.
I even like that when Marge confronts him in the middle of the movie, and Bill's kind of like, "Well, yeah, I'm an alien."
And
He's not even trying to pull the wool over her eyes. He's like, "Yeah."
And that's the thing too, like the Marge character. She seemed so strong, but so weak.
She's not a physical threat.
Yeah.
But she does like keep going. She doesn't give up when she's like, okay, I can, none of my calls are going through. No one's believing me. I can't send this thing. The cops are blocked off. I'm not just sitting
But she
here,
still
though.
stays with Bill.
Yeah, she still goes go home. But even the doctor told her you have to go home, or Bill's going to know we're up to something.
But even like before that, she was still like
Yeah.
there, and I felt like that was maybe almost. If they would have had that doctor scene earlier, it would have made her completely look strong. Like this is the plan.
Yeah.
But she was just as afraid as she was trying to solve it too.
Yeah.
It was like a 50-50 character for me. But I mean, I don't think that giving it a 72% is a bad thing. Like it's not a bad C. I will say like that.
Yeah.
But that is my grade for it.
And that's Classic Monsters for this month.
Until next time.
Bye bye.